Experience matters now. Didn't matter when you were killing people with Doge. No. But it matters now. It matters now. What a piece of shit. I hate Elon Musk. He's such a piece of shit. Hello. My name is Ashlee and welcome to my channel. Today, we are going to be talking about Zohran and how he's going to be sworn in tomorrow. And because it's New Year's Eve when I'm posting this and when I'm recording it, because again, last week has been a blur, and it's been a fight to get anything done, really. Honestly, it's horrible. I hate it. And I still haven't responded to comments because I'm just the worst, but I will. I will. ADHD is a curse. Okay, anyway, so that's not what we're talking about today. Today, we're talking about Zohran. He's going to become mayor tomorrow, and AOC is going to be the one to introduce him. It's going to be amazing. I'm very excited. But something that's been happening on Twitter, because that's apparently where I go now, on Twitter, is... I hate Twitter. Anyway, I went on Twitter, and apparently the right wing is having some issues. We are going to see what Elon Musk and everybody else has said. Newsflash, it's homophobic. And so we're going to talk about that today. But before we get into it, please like and subscribe and turn on post notifications and everything else. It is going to be the new year, and I'm very thankful for all of you in 2025. I got monetized. I have 1,500 subscribers, and this is honestly amazing, and I couldn't have done it without all of you. And getting monetized was like a huge goal of mine for a really, really long time. And everyone who's like watched and supported has helped make it happen. So thank you so much to everyone who has subscribed and supported me over this year. Thank you all so much. I just want to say that. Now let's get into it. So Zohran will be the mayor of New York City tomorrow. Yay, we're so excited. Very excited. I understand that there are things to criticize him about, and I have criticized him, especially when he did not endorse Chai Ose. I'm still mad at him about that, but here we are. Still mad. A lot of people are saying, oh, he's going to be like the new AOC and all this other kind of stuff, which I can see that happening. And again, I like AOC, but there are some things that I have criticized her for in the past. I think as long as we are excited because he is a really good messenger of progressive leftist policies, but then also hold him to account and make sure that he sticks to that, and so I think it's an exciting opportunity, I think, that he has and people on the left have right now. I got into a little not an argument, but it was funny. I was out to dinner with some of my family over the holidays, and we were talking about Zohran, and I don't know how we got on the topic of Zohran. But anyway, we got on the topic, and they were my whole family was like, oh, what's he going to do? He's not going to be able to do anything. And I'm like, actually, one of the previous mayors did do a rent freeze, so he can do that. And they're like, oh, well, it's never going to work. It's not going to work. And I literally was like, this is my problem, is that a lot of conservatives just complain to complain. And I feel like this also stems from the Republican Party not having actual policies that help regular people. They're just policies, their policies are tax cuts and less regulations. That's what their policies are. And going after people who are queer, going after black and brown people, going after immigrants, going after trans people. That's what a lot of their policies do. It's they never want to actually have a solution for any of the problems. They just want to keep being able to complain, because the more they complain about things, they can just keep saying, oh, it's the immigrants' fault. And then they never actually want to fix the problem. And so So they're just like telling me how this is never going to work and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, you guys always have so many complaints. You're always complaining about something. There's always something you're upset about. And yet when someone is like, okay, I want to fix that. Give me an opportunity to fix that. Instead of being like, okay, we'll see if this works. You're like, no, that'll never work. Nope, not going to work. Horrible idea. Oh my God, crazy communist. And then I also was like, he's not a communist, right? Like, I'm like, you understand that, like, he's not a communist, right? I'm like, he's not even a socialist. He's a democratic socialist, but there's a difference. And then my whole family's like, is there? And I'm like, yes, there is a difference. But you think everyone who's like to the left of Nancy Pelosi, they used to think Nancy Pelosi was a communist, but they think everyone who's like to the left of Nancy Pelosi is a communist. It's so silly. It's so silly. I just thought that was funny, so I had to say that. But I was just like, I just got frustrated. Everything's a complaint. Everything's like, oh my God, I can't believe this is happening. Can you believe it? La, la, la. And then when someone's like, okay, let me fix that. You're like, nope, not going to work. Not going to work. Have to blame immigrants. Like, goddamn. Goddamn. Okay, sorry. That was besides the point, but it was a little funny story. Anyway, so you'll never believe this. Zohran puts a queer woman for FDNY. And of course, that made Elon Musk and all the right-wing people on Twitter mad. I'm going to keep calling it Twitter. Made them all mad, right? They're all so mad. And they're like, oh my God, I can't believe it. Look how it went in LA. Because they think, listen, they have a lot of problems in LA. I'm not saying that they don't. But they blamed the queer fire chief. And I think maybe it's because she had some people out at some seminar or something, if I'm remembering correctly, and didn't have everyone out. And so didn't have everyone on the field, and so everyone blamed her. Anyway, I don't think it was completely her fault, but she did take the blame, and I think she also got fired. And so people are like, oh, see, there's a queer woman in charge. Oh no. And so that's basically what they're saying right now. They're like, oh, there's going to be a queer woman in charge. Didn't that happen in LA? And they're blaming, and that's what they're saying. Very homophobic, very misogynistic. If she made a mistake, it had nothing to do with her being a woman or being queer. But of course, that's what they think. They think, oh, this is a woman, she's queer. They're going to do a horrible job. So this is what's happening. So first, let's talk about the person that he appointed. New York City Mayor-elect Zohran Mamdani has chosen the city's next fire commissioner. Lillian, a well-respected retired EMS chief, will now be the next fire commissioner. She will be the second female fire commissioner behind Laura Kavanaugh, who called Lillian one of the strongest leaders I have worked alongside. So that is who that they are saying right now has no experience and all this other kind of stuff, right? And they're saying is going to get people killed. That is who they're saying is going to get people killed. So this is the video that Elon Musk and all these right-wing guys are responding to. So it says, Zohran Mamdani appoints Lillian as new FDNY commissioner, although she is, see, and this is what they're saying. Although she has never served as a firefighter, she's confident that won't matter. She is a trailblazer for the LGBTQ community who will serve as the FDNY's first openly gay commissioner.
Lillian Bonsignor is a career first responder. In just 9 days, she'll be running the world's busiest fire department, one of the most important appointments of the incoming administration.
And they deserve a leader who cares about their work because she did it herself, who understands every detail, and who will fight tirelessly to empower FDNY and make it the best firefighting force in the world.
Lillian Bonsignor began her career as an EMT in 1991 and was ultimately promoted to chief of the city's EMS division.
Okay, so then, like, why are we... This is so crazy. Like, this is so crazy that they're saying, oh, she has no experience. No, she does have experience. And this is the other thing that bothers me about this whole like DEI bullshit of people being like, oh, well, they're queer, or oh, they're black. That means that they must have gotten some like preferential treatment, or that's the only reason they're here. Most people who are queer, who are women, who are black and brown, who are immigrants, you name it, go down the list. They have to work harder to get to where they are. They have to work harder to get people to see them, to listen to them, okay, to take them seriously. A lot of men in particular, but a lot of white men especially, I feel like, especially who are conservative, feel like they deserve these positions of power. Then that has a lot to do with the patriarchal society that the right wants. They want the woman to stay at home, and they want the men to go out and have jobs and basically essentially have control over women in this society. And so when a queer woman who probably has decentered men in her life completely gets a prestigious position, they feel threatened by that because they feel like they could do a better job even if they didn't have half the experience. And so I just that's the frustrating part about all of this.
Where she served for 3 years before retiring in 2022. Although she never served as a firefighter, she's confident that won't matter.
I know the job. I know what the firefighters need, and I can translate that to this administration who's willing to listen. I know what EMS needs. I have been EMS for 30 plus years.
Bonsignor is a trailblazer for the LGBTQ community, who will serve as the FDNY's first openly gay commissioner. She's a highly respected, detail-oriented manager whose style has been compared to NYPD Commissioner Jessica Tisch.
See, I don't like Jessica Tisch, but I think it is a good sign that a lot of the people around respect her and think that her experience is going to make her a good commissioner. And that's what matters, is that the people around there respect her and are excited to have her as their commissioner. They're mad because she's a queer woman, and they're mad that she has this prestigious position. She has 30 plus years in EMS. She was the chief of their EMS division. So to sit here and act like she has no experience at all, Elon Musk, and I'll show you what Elon Musk said, but Elon Musk, the people who thinks is a genius boy, who is not an engineer, who lied about all of his degrees, I'm sorry, he's dumb. He is stupid, okay? Elon Musk is dumb. He's dumb. All right? And and to sit here and act like you know who could do this job better. You, a mass murderer, because people have died because of the cuts that you have made. He thinks that he knows better and that he probably thinks he could do better than Lillian, even though Lillian has been a first responder for over 30 years. I bet he thinks that he could do a better job because that's who Elon Musk is. Sorry, just got a little upset because I hate Elon Musk, and I hate people like him who think that just because of who they are or the stature or their status they appear to have, they think that they could do better and be better at all these different things than the people who actually, this is their life, this is their experience. And Donald Trump, I feel like, has a lot of that too. Anyway, I'm just mad. All right. Okay. So this is what Elon Musk said. Elon Musk, people will die because of this. Proven experience matters when lives are at stake. Yeah. Oh, wait. You mean like when you cut all of the funding? You mean when you cut funding? Oh, you mean when you were doing Doge? Susan Wiles even said that many people are dying and they're not going to tell Donald Trump. But no. But when it's a queer woman who has 30 plus experience, 30 years plus experience, and as a first responder, you're like, no, wait, experience matters. Experience matters now. Didn't matter when you were killing people with Doge. No. But it matters now. It matters now. What a piece of shit. I hate Elon Musk. He's such a piece of shit. And he does. I bet you anything. He thinks that he could do a better job. That he could be fire commissioner. It makes me so mad. It makes me so... I think it's the entitlement that makes me the most mad. It's just the entitlement of thinking you're better than everybody else when you're most obviously not. That's what makes me so mad. But this is how Zohran responded. He said experience does matter, which is why I appointed the person who spent more than 30 years at EMS. You know, the workforce that addresses at least 70% of the calls coming from the FDNY. Piece of shit. Oh God, I hate Elon Musk. Oh, I hate Elon Musk. What experience does Elon Musk? What experience does Elon Musk have? What experience did Elon Musk have to be doing Doge? What experience? What experience? He didn't get those engineer degrees. So what experience does he have to do anything? He just had money. And then he bought up companies. Tell me what experience Elon Musk has to be doing anything he's doing. Anyway, something else that I think is really fun is Miss Rachel. So Miss Rachel wants to help give books to all, so one of Zohran's policies or something that he wanted to do was give out baby baskets, and this actually happens in other countries, and they just have like essentials for people who have just given birth, and so they send them a baby basket and have the essentials and stuff in there, which I think is very cool. And Miss Rachel wanted to put books in there, and so that's really awesome. And so hopefully I think he's working with her too. And so I'm very excited that Miss Rachel is a part of his team and helping give him ideas, because I love her. And my mom and my aunt had to buy presents for kids, and they asked me, they're like, what are the kids like? And I'm like, I don't know. Why would I know what kids like? And then I was like, oh my God, do they watch Miss Rachel? I was like, wait, I love Miss Rachel. And actually they got her some Miss Rachel toys. And because I was like, no, you have to get the I don't think they know who she is. But I was telling my mom and my aunt, I'm like, no, you have to get the Miss Rachel toys. I was like, if you don't buy them, I will. Like, I am supporting Miss Rachel, okay? And so they did. They bought the Miss Rachel toys. So that was a very proud moment for me. One last thing before we go. Someone else is also upset with Zohran, and that is, of course, Laura Loomer. Racist, Islamophobic Laura Loomer has something to say. Of course she does. And she said, in case you're wondering how the Islamic takeover of America is going, Jesus Christ, Jesus Christ, she's so insane. In case you're wondering how the Islamic takeover of America is going, NY Times is gushing this morning about how Zohran Mamdani is going to be the first mayor of New York City to take his oath of office on the Quran. Why is that a bad thing, Laura Loomer? Why is that a bad thing? Why is that a bad thing? You know, it's really okay. And then she says, disgusting. We are an occupied country. Okay. Occupied by who? Because the people running the government are Christian nationalists. Okay, so occupied by who? It's always the America First crowd. It's always the I Love America crowd that cannot accept other religions. Now listen, I'm an atheist, okay? But it's always the people like Laura Loomer who are very like America First or I Love America, rah, 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 who don't believe in the freedom of religion. Like it's always that, isn't it? And I'm not saying that the Constitution was written for every religion, because we know how I feel about the Constitution. Like, I think it's fine or whatever, but everyone's like, oh, it was written for the people, by the people. No, it wasn't. It was written by rich, powerful white men that wanted to control the masses. It was not written for the people, by whatever. Anyway, we all know how I feel about that, but it doesn't matter. Yet and still, one of the things in the Constitution is freedom of religion. And of course, we always talk about Thomas Jefferson, who said that there's a wall between church and state, right? And yet the same people who want to regard the founders as like gods and want to be like, oh, America first, oh, all this other kind of crap, they don't actually believe in those. They don't actually believe in the Constitution. They believe in the Second Amendment because it gives them an excuse for guns and all this other kind of shit. But like, they don't actually believe in any of this. They don't believe in the Bill of Rights. They don't believe in the Constitution. They don't believe in any of this. Because if they did, because like, if they just read it, then they would realize that they don't believe in it. But they don't believe in it. And so when someone like Zohran is like, hey, it's supposed to be freedom of religion, we don't have a state religion, we are supposed to be able to practice the religion that we want. We are free to do that. And so to get upset that he's going to be sworn in on a Quran instead of a Bible is America. That is America. That is the America that has been sold to us now. Is that real in history? No. But that is the idealistic America that has been sold to people, right? That is what has been sold to us. That is what the propaganda is. And now you can't even go, you're like, no. He needs to have a Bible because we need to have a state religion, which is Christianity, which is what Trump's government wants. I don't think Trump really cares, but it's what Stephen Miller wants. Even in that Vanity Fair article, Susan Wiles was saying, hey, he's a religious zealot. Like, he is an extremist. And that is how he is making these decisions. And of course it is. And it's very obvious to tell, that Stephen Miller is doing that. And, yeah, anyway, that was a lot of rambling. I hope everyone has a great New Year's Eve. That's enough rambling for today. Thank you so much for watching. I love you all so much. Please like and subscribe and all the things. And everyone have a wonderful New Year's Eve. Bye.